Oh, yeah. I'm ready for my interview.
Fantastic.
I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
Great. You ready to answer some questions?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yes, please.
Hi, Elliot.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Ready to answer some questions?
No. Okay, I'll do it.
Cool.
What's one word to describe Nanny?
Good evening.
Would be one of my best friends.
Magnificent. She's nice.
When you think of Nanny, what's one word that you think of?
Piano.
Nanny.
Nice.
Is that because that's what your pillow says right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
What's an adjective to use to describe Nanny? Would you say that she's loving? Or
Loving.
So what's one word to describe Nanny? One word to describe Nanny.
Fun and active.
That's 2 words.
So factive.
Is selfless. She's always putting others before herself. As much shit as she gets for the whole thing, I think it's just because she truly is not able to be happy unless her loved ones are happy. I look at what she's done this past year, taking care of Papa. Obviously, his world was flipped upside down, and hers was too. She never complained about it. She just kept on going, and she had to alter her routine, what she considered a normal life, to take care of him, and I'll always admire that. And I look back to my tears and Beatrice. I don't think her or Papa ever truly understood what an impact they made on me. Just to have a second home to come home to weekends, and she would never let me come and not get my laundry done. I was never there, and I don't think I was ever hungry for a single second when I went and visited her. So I think selfless is the perfect word to describe Nanny.
Love.
What's one word you'd use to describe Papa? Very, very carefree. No stress in his life.
Awesome.
Papa is a legend. Since as long as I can remember, he's been one of my biggest hero figures. Always looked up to him. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized how hard it is to find true, genuine people in this world. And, he's definitely one of them. Always making people laugh, always wanting to give more than he takes. I've always thought that between him and my dad, that I had two of the best happy medium of male figures to look up to. Pop, you're as real as it gets. There's nothing fake about you, no matter what, and that's what I admire most about you.
Really kind. Funny. Good at fishing. So, gadvishing.
The unconditional love, both in terms of what he gives and receives from others.
He's kind.
One of my favorite memories with Nanny was when she came into Chicago to see the Rockettes with me for their Christmas spectacular. We had just gotten back from the Dominican, and my hair was all braided with beads, and we're sitting in the aisle seat, and Santa's walking up and down in the middle of the show, and mid-song turns to me and compliments me on how cool my hair is.
Going to the woods, Whittle?
Going to the rose.
When you and Papa came in town, I forget what it was for, but at one point, my mom told me to take out the garbage in the bathroom. So, of course, I went in there. It was pretty full, so I dumped it into a bag, but some of the pieces of toilet paper got in my hand. When I looked at them, there was brown residue on them that I just assumed somebody wiped their butt and put it in the trash can. So I started to freak out. I ran out of the bathroom. My mom saw me, and she goes, "What happened?" I go, somebody wiped their butt and put it in the trash can. That's what happened. And so she looked at it, and we decided that was Nanny's makeup, but that was a scary time right there.
Going to Mickey D's. Going out to lunch with her.
This was years back when we bought the Honda Odyssey. We were driving around. All the kids were in the back seat. My dad called Nanny, put the phone on speaker, and was asking her all these questions like, I was trying to figure out how to brake a car, and asking questions like how fast we can go at the start, and all these questions. And Nanny's feeding into it, and she's giving him answers, and all of a sudden he starts laughing, and says how he's messing with her, and she goes, not knowing that the phone's on speaker, she says, "You're an asshole," and that was the first time we all heard Nanny swear. So, pretty cool.
When I ripped off my shirt and we did the Italian restaurant, and we surprised them with where we all had like waiters' names, and we served them pizza and like food with Maggie, TJ,
Bless you.
and David, TJ, Maggie, I think, yeah. And we would and served them. That was super fun.
Cool. What's your favorite memory with Papa?
Probably the exact same thing I just said.
Okay.
Everyone else.
Fishing.
When he took me to my first Husker game, obviously the game itself was awesome. But one of my favorite memories from that day was before we were leaving the house, Nanny was super adamant about giving us a bunch of layers. It was supposed to be cold that night. So she'd go to the closet, bring back hats, gloves. She probably brought out about three jackets for the both of us. And the whole time Papa's like, "All right, Nan, I think we're good. Nan, I think we're good." So we finally get out of there. We're driving to Lincoln. And Papa looks at me and goes, "Louie, I don't know what's going to happen at the game tonight, but one thing's for sure. We're not going to freeze."
I don't know. Spending time with him, maybe? Like spending time with him.
Was from this last summer when we would go on our afternoon walks and strolls through the neighborhood at the new house. And he had just gotten his new wheelchair, so we were using his rental wheelchair prior, and we had realized kind of just how slow that one was actually going, because once we get into that new wheelchair, the next thing I know, he's like full speed ahead, going at a brisk 6.5 miles per hour. My walk turns into a jog. We go for 30 minutes. We're down by the Aldi, by the Taco Bell, making that loop. There are all these cars around, and I just can't even imagine what the reactions were of other people, because I'm sure it was quite a sight to see.
I'm going to go with when I had a baseball tournament in Wisconsin when I was littler. I forget how it worked out, but it turned out that you were going to drive me home back to Chicago, and you didn't really know how to work the GPS at the time, so you told me to put in my address. So I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to press home, because that's how it usually works on my GPS. And so I press home, and the time estimate said like 8 hours, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound right, but I'm sure it'll go down as we drive. So we're driving, and it's still saying like the same time. So I think like 3 hours into the trip, we're like, we should be getting close by now, and we're nowhere near it. And so we try to call my parents, but you dropped your phone in the coffee, so you didn't have a phone. And then we couldn't find the iPass when we were going through the toll booth, so we were freaking out trying to find that. Luckily, I just got my phone, so we called them using my phone. But it turned out that we had your GPS instead of mine, so by pressing home, it was going all the way back to Omaha. So we got to figure it out, but it was a stressful car ride.
Seeing him at Tiger Tom's.
Maybe Tiger Tom's.
One of my favorite memories with Nanny and Papa, the both of them actually, was a year ago for my fall concert with CKDC. They were unable to make it, which, if anyone knows Nanny and Papa, they don't miss those kind of things. So for one of my shows, my parents weren't able to see me perform in one of the numbers, so we did it later that night just so that they can see me in that one dance. And they actually FaceTimed Nanny and Papa into it while Papa was in the hospital. and it was one of the most surreal and special experiences to perform this dance, get done with it, walk into the audience, and see Nanny and Papa's face on the FaceTime screen, knowing that they got to see everything that just happened. It was something that I will absolutely never forget.
I don't really remember the orders that much, but maybe like going in the backyard and playing.
Easter egg hunts.
And we'd come down for Easter, and you guys would set up the eggs with all of our initials on it, and we'd go around looking for those. I always thought that was so much fun.
Probably when we do all those Easter egg hunts, those were super fun. Because everybody was like, oh, chickens.
Room, the family room, living room area is my absolute favorite place in the whole entire world, especially during the Christmas time, because you'd have all the nutcrackers up by the mantle. There'd be a fire going. If you're lucky, there'd be snow or maybe rain, depending on how warm or cold it is, coming down, so you could just lay there in the middle of the room looking up at the skylights. And then there'd be the Christmas tree in the corner with the Santa overlay on top.
Seeing them.
Definitely during Christmas time, we were all sitting around, opening presents, playing games in the living room. And then you had, in the corner, we had that big tree, always a real tree, with Santa's face on top, and can't forget about Nanny's Rolex pretzel cookies.
Playing games.
My favorite game at the OG house was either Bargain Hunter or playing Gin Rummy with Papa.
Hungry hippos.
Uno.
Bargain Hunter and Hungry Hippos, but I always really liked playing bumper pool in your guys' basement because I always thought that was so much fun.
Me and Nanny always playing war.
Hot potato.
This was definitely Bargain Hunter. The boys and I played that one a lot.
Any like card games and board games were super duper fun.
I like to play a lot of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The hot tub.
I'm so excited to come down during the winter and going into the hot tub when it's cold out because I remember us doing that in Colorado and I thought that was awesome with the snow.
Sledding off the back porch and going in the hot tub.
I mean, any place with a hot tub, I'm in for. Also, there is 2 giant fishing ponds that I will one day canoe across, and that will be fun.
What's a canoe?
A canoes or caduce.
I'm going. Dad,
What's that?
fishing.
Oh, in the new house? Yeah, that is fun.
And we caught 5,000 fish.
Yes, you did with the net.
The Christmas tree.
Played basketball.
I had a really special experience being able to live with Nanny and Papa this past summer in the new house. And what I'm most looking forward to is kind of coming back and reliving some of those traditions that we had from over the summer, which include the strolls that I would take with Papa in the neighborhood, happy hours in that Village Point area with Nanny, hot tub obviously with a glass of wine in hand, pretty nice. And if I'm ever here for another summer, the fireworks, just watching from the back porch, incredible in that neighborhood.
Why are you lucky?
Mostly a lot of stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Kindergarten Christmas.
Kindergarten Christmas is why you're lucky?
Yeah, 'cause I like that.
Mickey D's and you don't?
I'm so lucky because every single time I come to Omaha, everybody wants to say hi to me because they know that you guys are my grandparents.
I'm lucky because I've been blessed with opportunities that most people don't have. And that came as a result from my family and my ancestors before me making sacrifices. I'm also lucky because I'm a gin rummy champion.
People always say how you can't pick your family. But I think one of the reasons why I'm so lucky and why we really are all so lucky is that even if I could pick my family, it would be you guys. You guys are my greatest support system, and I could not imagine doing life without you, and I'm just so grateful to be.
You have the best grandparents ever.
To have Nanny and Papa.
Because I got Nanny and Papa.
Merry Christmas!
Goat. So fat goats.
Hey, Judah.
What?
How's it going?
Definitely not reading a book.
Shut up!
All right. Love you, buddy.
Love you, Dad. See ya.
Can you say Merry Christmas to Nanny and Papa?
Merry Christmas to Nanny and Papa.
Merry Christmas! And a happy New Year!
And he's out.
That's good.
How have I gone in my interview?
You're hired.
Ooh, I just would like to have a thank you to goats for getting me through this. They did a lot for me. Let's go goats. And chickens. They did nothing. Thank
Say
you.
Merry Christmas to Nanny and Papa.
Merry Christmas. Family animals.